Well, thanks, guys. Hey, this is a segment we have been looking forward to doing for a long time. I'm where? I'm at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the famous Brickyard, home of the Indy 500. Where's Nick? He's back home in Portland. We've both got the same car. It's the all-new 2021 Corvette Stingray Coupe. Let's find out if this is a vehicle you might want to park in your garage.
If you were wondering, the color that Mike has is called Zeus Bronze Metallic. This one is called Sebring Orange Tint Coat, and this will cost you about $995 extra because it is a premium paint. What is cool though is that this Corvette C8 does have winter tires on it. Why? Well, it does rain all winter long here in Portland, Oregon. What I am thankful for is that Chevrolet did send me a hardtop convertible because the sun occasionally comes out in the winter here in Portland, Oregon, and that means I can take my top off.
The truth is, Chevrolet had hit a wall with the development of the last Corvette, the C7. They had gone as far as they could, so when the designers and engineers began the C8 design process, they knew they had to lift the Corvette to a new high.
The Corvette C8 had to become an American supercar, a mid-engine car that moved the engine from in front of the driver to behind the driver. This opened up the possibility of the Corvette competing with European supercars. But the engineers knew they had to do it for a third of what the Europeans charged for their supercars.
So with the Chevy Corvette, it actually starts right here under the hood. They move the engine from the front to the rear of the vehicle. What do you have? A 6.2-liter V8 small block V8, and it puts out 495 horsepower, 370 pounds-feet of torque. They've married it with, check this out, an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission.
What the mid-engine design does for performance, it also does for exterior design of this new C8. It shortens the hood and it shortens the overhangs of the vehicle. And in fact, they've widened the vehicle by 2.5 inches and they've given it the look of a Stingray. This looks like a Corvette coming down the road. Even though it has much more of a European overall design, you can still recognize it as a Corvette any which way from any angle. And it has a cool piece of technology as well. Even though this vehicle is much lower, if you come to a curb or a driveway that you don't like, you can raise it up just over an inch from a cool button on the inside. It picks the front end up, you press the button, and this vehicle will avoid losing the front bumper just because of technology.
And before we even hit the track, let's talk about the interior of this Chevy Corvette. Of course, my favorite part is the fact that with the Stingray, you can pop the top off in less than a few seconds. But the interior with this incredible baseball tan leather, I love the way the interior of this is designed. Just like a fighter cockpit with your buttons right here on this center console, making it an unbelievable car.
That very cool color on the inside of Mike's C8 is called natural Napa leather. The inside of mine, this is actually called jet black. Very classic color. A lot of people love jet black on the inside of their vehicles. There is something cool on every single C8, and that is the unlatching mechanism to open the doors. It's actually electric, so when you hit the button to open the door, it unlatches with electricity. There's a little problem with that. What happens if your battery goes flat? Well, then you have to open the door mechanically. So they put a mechanical opener on the floor of the vehicle. If that battery doesn't work, you reach down, you pull it up, and you can still get out.
The interior feels plush and well made with genuine metal and stitching on the inside of the cockpit. And that is part of what makes this the most driver-focused car of 2020. Add in 14 Bose speaker system, tilted screens, and buttons that all make this an individualized car and driving experience.
All right, let's talk about the driving and some things on the inside. First of all, the best steering wheel ever in this vehicle, flat bottom, flat top. It's very cool, and it, strangely enough, makes the vehicle very easy to drive. You know exactly where the steering wheel is at all times. The other thing that's very cool on the inside, you've probably heard this before, but the inside, the interior is laid out perfectly for every single driver. All the screens are pointed towards you. There's this row of buttons that has everything pointed towards the driver with temperatures, seat heaters, absolutely everything. It does short the passenger just a little bit. And I've driven sports cars all over the world. This vehicle is fast, it's very loud, It is a Corvette. It's exactly like you'd expect a Corvette to be. It performs amazingly. But here's the thing about this vehicle, it's not jerky. When you start and you floor it, it doesn't throw you around. It gets fast very, very quickly, but doesn't throw you around. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Just like this. Put your foot down and it goes. That's really fast and really loud. But I didn't get thrown around. This vehicle nails it in every aspect. It's smooth and perfect. It's not hard to drive. Chevrolet nailed it.
Push-button transmission, lots of camera views, plenty of technology, and choices. Lots of choices.
Chevrolet had lots of directional choices when designing this new Corvette Stingray, but they did something that nobody quite expected them to do. They created a brand new American icon. I'm Nick Miles.
And I'm Mike Caudill.